And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, General Manager at WEIU, and today is going to be all about WEIU Television. We're joined in studio by our two fabulous producer directors, Lacey Spence. Welcome, Lacey.
Good afternoon.
And the one and only Rameen Karbassioon.
Hola, Jeff.
There you go. Well, so this is going to be a show that's going to be fun because if you're interested in what WEIU Television is going to be doing for our fall season, some of our local programming, specials that are coming up, and including the new Jasper County This Is Our Story is where we'll start today and talk about it because it will be debuting in just a few weeks. So I don't know who wants to start, but just tell us what we can expect on the latest This Is Our Story series at WEIU.
Well, I wrote it down, Jeff, and since I'm going to be on the live night, this is my rehearsal to get it right. So program will air on July 18th. It's our 17th hour story program, that is. 16 storytellers for 15 stories. There you go, all beautiful numerically. So this is our latest hour story, and it's another county program. So it's in progress. We're doing the editing as we speak.
So let's talk about the editing. I know you and Lacey are both hard at work right now. This is your break, I guess, for the day.
Thanks.
To come out and not be editing and not to be bothered in your workroom. So, how is the editing coming on the show? And take us behind the scenes of what's happening right now.
So people think we slow down in the summer as our faculty does, and unfortunately that's not the case. So, but it's such an honor to get to tell people's stories. They're the storytellers. We just get to polish it a little bit and share it with folks. So Jasper County, I think it's coming good. We are, like you said, in the throes of editing. Rameen was just down in Jasper County on Friday, so if you saw him, hopefully you said hello. And we've got some great stories lined up. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to give it away. We want people to tune in and see for themselves.
Well, maybe just give us a couple of hints on maybe some story subjects. You don't have to go into the details, but maybe some subject matter.
Okay. MVP Happy Holler. That's one that I'm working on, pretty excited about. I'm going to take a look at your list here. We divvied them out, the bracket style, I guess. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Like March Madness style.
Yep.
The farming in Jasper County. History and past. I'm really excited about that one. It's a father-son duo, and that one was really fun to tape.
And you have a few visuals to work with.
Yeah, just a few. They've got some great old family photos and drone shots, and I assume back in the day it wasn't drone, it was more airplane flying over, so that was really cool. And we even recorded 3 on Friday. Do you want to talk about those, Rameen?
We recorded 3 just this past week. Sometimes in the editing process, people can't make it there for the taping day, and when you're doing a county, this has come up because this is our third county Our Story one. Cumberland County, last year's was Crawford County, and people are coming from different points. But we had 3, and those stories were the lifetime of Newton football.
Yeah, and then that guy, not to interrupt, but sorry, Tom Clark has already sent us a note today about how excited he was to be up here last week recording, and he's so excited. And he actually has a little tie-in with some broadcasting, which we'll talk about later on maybe here at Eastern Illinois University.
Yes, he is a longtime broadcaster there and was on the mic there, PA announcer for the Newton football Eagles for a long time. Also have a story on Finding St. Marie. I'm really excited to see how that one turns out for Lacey. I got a lot of new B-roll for Lacey. That's video, folks. B-roll is just a fancy term, but got some new video of St. Marie for Lacey to use on that one. But Mike Hartrick did a great job telling that story, and that's going to be a fun little story on a very small but very proud community there in Jasper County. And then we also have a story on People's State Bank there, which obviously helps the community out in a couple of different ways. So total of 15 stories.
July 18th, 7 o'clock, WEIU TV. I can't believe it's already our 17th one.
2014. This summer we were doing our first one on Effingham, and we're, I guess, averaging about 2 a year, I guess.
Yeah, 1 or 2 a year. So that's and it's fun. I know it's a lot of work, and I think Lacey hit the nail on the head when people think, the summer it's easier at WEIU. Well, actually, it's not. I mean, because we really are working to our fall season, plus getting these things done. Now, maybe some of the other people here on staff in the summer might be a little bit easier, but for you two and Kelly, it really is a lot of work, and you're to be commended because it's a grind to get all this stuff done, but we're getting it done.
You got to tape ahead for things to air in the fall. So the only time we can really do it is the summertime, and so we're juggling literally every local show that we produce.
So we'll start with Lacey on the next one, the Being Well, and I'm trying to keep, how many seasons of this will be of Being Well?
This is number 16.
16, and you're third, right?
This
already?
is my third.
So the 16th season of Being Well will debut this September. Tell us the details on that and what we can expect.
Yeah, so we're right in the thick of taping. We taped 6 our first week. We're about to tape 7 our second week, and got a variety of topics. And I'm relieved to say that we're finally able to really pivot away from coronavirus topics. It was obviously very pertinent information as we were in the thick of things, but I think people are really excited to be able to kind of pivot away from that. Some of the not funner topics, but more unique. We've got dry needling, so like acupuncture. That one was one we haven't done before. We haven't done migraines, I don't think. And another one I'm excited for, a lot of people have been talking about how diabetes drugs have been used for weight loss purposes and combating obesity. And so we've got a professional coming in to talk about that this upcoming week. So that should be some really good new information that there's not a whole lot out there yet.
And how many shows will there be in the fall season?
13, and fingers crossed for a live show, but right now we're so in the thick of everything that it's just like, that feels like a pipe dream at the moment, but hopefully it'll firm up.
Well, you read my, it was what I was thinking. If
One of those tapings we already did was the 3-guester. It's like, that's a live show, the level. That was a little bit,
Yes.
but a lot of great information, and I was excited to hear the information about migraines, not because I get any, but a certain person I live with gets them. And so it's like just to pass along that knowledge of, so the information is just plentiful.
Yeah, it's local, and it's being a lot of our local doctors from some of the surrounding. And we're lucky here because we have so many great hospitals and healthcare providers around here that can really feed into the show and get the word out as much as we possibly can to help the folks in this area. The other one I want to talk about, Kelly isn't here today, Kelly Goodwin, who hosts the Paw Report. And I think the Paw Report is the one thing part of the summer when you guys, I love it when you all come back from Paw Report tapings because there's always great stories.
Oh, boy.
Talk a little bit about what the Paw Report is, but maybe if you guys can share some of the adventures of the summer
so far. Yep. All right, so this is season 13 of the Paw Report, Kelly's 10th season as host.
Wow.
So where did that go from? But yeah, the Paw Report is a very unique show. We're dealing with animals, and it's obviously morphed from season 1 when Kate Pleasant hosted it from just a cat and dog show. This season we have reindeer, we have skunks. I mean, and those were both on location shoots. So the reindeer one, that's up at the Hardee's Reindeer Ranch in Rantoul, just on the very outskirts of Rantoul there. And you're not going to have to wait long to see that one. That's going to be in the first 3 episodes of the season. And if you haven't been to Hardee's Reindeer Ranch, yes, folks, there is reindeer in Central Illinois. And then the skunk episode, we just taped that one recently, about an hour west of Indianapolis or so. This lady has skunks, and it's wild. We had one I was outside where we taped the interview, but Lacey went inside, and how many baby skunks were there?
There was like 60 in her house, okay? And so everyone's picturing, skunks.
And
they
there's the
stink.
shot,
She's
if you're
got 'em
watching
in
the
her
program,
house.
there's the skunk that we had on the set with us
Yes.
outside there. And I guess the correct term is their skunkers were all removed, so nobody was going to get sprayed.
That's good.
That's
So
a relief.
Nobody came back stinky.
60 skunks in your house.
Yeah, so you go in and there are like 2 little kiddie pools. And I mean, she keeps this place immaculate, okay? And so there's like 4 baby skunks in one, 5 baby skunks in another. You go a little bit further into the living room from the dining room, and there's, like the storage totes that you pack your stuff away for the winter. More totes, like maybe 2 or 3 in her living room, okay? Takes us back to the bedroom. She's got like a king-size bed, and then there's still room. There's totes, more totes of babies, 5 and 6 apiece. And then she's got like 2 or 3 little chicken coops that she's got full-size skunks living in her bedroom.
Now, does she release them into the wild, or do people adopt them, or what's the plan there?
Adopting.
Okay.
I think people bring them.
Yeah, she's more of a rescue
Oh,
type
rescue,
of thing.
okay.
So, if you are living out in the country or something and you see a random skunk and you're like, hey, can you get this out of my vicinity? She would rescue it. Or if you were to come across maybe some babies and the mom unfortunately got hit by a car, then she could come rescue the babies, rehab them, and raise them and adopt them out.
So
Kudos to Kelly for when you get to season 13 and you have some of the same. Dr. Foote comes on every season, and she's going to be on the season once again. But thinking outside the box, I mean, this is a skunk. When I heard skunk, really?
I was more worried about the vehicles than
No,
you guys didn't
no.
do that.
Everybody was safe, and it was truly one of those just wow. So I think this is the most on location episodes we've had for the Paw Report. So she has a nice pipeline of guests that we go up to the U of I, the veterinary teaching hospital. This past episode that we most recently taped before this Issues and Attitudes, the new technology we got to see for checking animals for tumors and cancer stuff far out. So look forward to sharing the Paw Report.
What is the debut and time on that one? Do we
Well,
know?
all of our local shows, for the most part, come fall, the week of 9/11. So the Paw Report will debut on 9/11. The Live Being Well, to be determined, will be on 9/12. And then the episodes will start the following Tuesday. And then City Spotlight, Season 10, can't believe we got there, 9/13. So it's 3 days in a row of premieres if you can handle it.
And that'll last, and that's usually 13 episodes per. That goes all the way through some of the falls, just like regular TV. So it's exciting. Well, we'll go right into City Spotlight before we go to Take a Hike. So City Spotlight, what can we expect this fall, Rameen?
Well, to get to this fall, we're getting up to Season 10, and just again, like our story, 17. City Spotlight, I don't know what we thought the shelf life of City Spotlight or any of these shows was going to be. The fact that we have 3 local shows and then you add the Our Story, double figure seasons is amazing. I had to count my list here. I got all the towns listed. I'm not going to read them all off, but 22 towns now, and that's unbelievable. Just aired our most recent episode. Lacey's hometown of Oakland, Illinois was in it. It was kind of a combo episode. That's at least what I said at the end of the episode. Oakland and Marshall. Very heartfelt. Great information shared in these communities, new things in the communities. I have a new Vietnam Veterans War Memorial they put up on Memorial Day weekend in Oakland. I wasn't able to be there, but a local photographer, Alyssa Farmer, snapped some photos, really high quality photos, shared them with me, was able to show them off during the episode, and then went off to Marshall Public Library, and Allison Thompson is doing a tremendous job there. They have 3 grants coming their way, so that library is going to be transformed there in Marshall. So great to come out to the communities and have a special 2-part City Spotlight to end Season 9 that's coming up that you won't want to miss. It's got a very Our Story documentary feel to it. And that last episode, August 30th, episode 200.
There you go.
Wow.
Crazy. I mean, you think about this. When people ask what we do in the community, I tell everybody, and I think most of the staff does here too, is if you know us, you know that that's what we really rest our hats on is local programming and local television that really serves a community. The only pet show, one of the few health shows around. The City Spotlight goes around all to Central Illinois and talks to what's happening in the communities. And Newswatch, when it kicks off in the spring and the fall with the kids doing the news, it's the only local newscast that's live originating from Charleston. And then we'll lead right into what our latest. I guess it doesn't seem new now, but you've done 2 shows of it, or 2 seasons of it. Is Take a Hike, which is really taken off. Not to use too much of a pun there, but talk about Take a Hike, which it just kind of finished a run. But let's talk about what it was and what it is.
Sure. And before I dive in, just to think about the connections we've made, like through the different projects, because he mentions Alicia Farmer, and I'm like, oh, well, she helped us on Ashmore, Oakland, Kansas. This is our story. So it's like everybody is kind of got their hands in everything. And it
so
really
intertwined.
It ties our communities together. So I love that. Take a Hike. It just wrapped up the first airing of Season 2, and actually the second airing of Season 2 will be coming up July 17th, Monday nights at 6:30. So if you're wanting to figure out and plan where you should maybe take a hike to for the rest of the summer, we've got 6 great episodes lined up there. And then, yes, I'm sort of thinking about the fall, but again, I'm just in that summer editing mode. But I've got some wish list locations here in Coles County. I'd love to either get out to Fox Ridge State Park or over to Lake Mattoon. I've heard both are, they've got a lot of opportunities for the community. Rameen found Ballard Nature Center over by Altamont.
Yep.
And so that place looks cool. I'd love to get over up into Macon County. I'd love to get into Edgar County as well, but I haven't found like a great outdoor space that's really big enough as a draw with a lot to offer, I guess. So if anyone's listening that knows, hit us up. 581 WEIU. And that's, again, us being local, we love to get that community feedback. So if there's somewhere I'm not even close to mentioning, give us a holler. We love that feedback, and we love to know where we should go and take a hike.
I'm going to guess Warren Sperry from Paris would know what to do in Edgar County for you.
Yeah,
Right?
Warren's probably yelling at his phone right now or yelling at us that way. But like, Take a Hike is what a great show. I mean, it kind of carries the lineage of WEIU programs that we've had through the years of going to places. I know City Spotlight kind of has that feel, but I feel like Take a Hike is carrying that baton from Heartland Highways.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the other thing is all these shows, they tie in together, but it also shows our commitment to local programming and a little variety when you talk about health, animals, outdoor recreation, information and politics. This show is also replays on TV, and we talk to some of the city leaders, mostly from Mattoon and Charleston, about what's happening with issues and attitudes, and so you get your inner workings. And so WEIU really is your portal to these inner workings of all the different communities and aspects that I think really matter to people who really love local television done the right way with that PBS twist. Now, a couple of other things that we have done, and the one of them was really cool, and Rameen, you filmed most of this, I believe, but School Talk is a show we decided just to take a chance on with our own Braden Armstrong, who's the son of Kevin and Keanne Armstrong here at WEIU, and he did a show. So talk about what School Talk was.
So this is really, this is Braden. This was Braden's idea.
Yeah.
And so if you watch School Talk, if you haven't, it's on our social media pages. And ended up, Braden, we did a segment with Braden. We turned the camera on him, and he kind of gave us the behind the scenes of the genesis of this show. And it's basically him talking to his fellow classmates. Braden is, when we taped the program, is 6th grader, and he would like to tape more. He would like, going into middle school, he would like to interview other kids. And it literally is what it is, kids talking to kids. That's exactly how Braden described it. They're talking about a variety of things, not just school-related, what they're interested in, hobbies, the challenges. Are you scared of going into middle school? I mean, those things that
we don't think about much as what a kid thinks about.
These are the thoughts of kids. And some of the comments were repetitive in nature, and some of them were very honest. I mean, that's the same thing with our story. You have people telling these stories, but the personality comes out. And then it kind of changes, how it feels. So we did six videos, I guess, and we got them into 3 TV episodes, but all 6 segments are online. And just really unique and interesting, and I think it has some strong potential to move forward, and like Braden told us, he'd like to tape more.
Well, and honestly, my idea from the management point is I would like to do a School Talk with other, not just Braden in Charleston, but find a Braden from a Mattoon and Braden from Effingham, and maybe make this thing branch out. Is kind of longer term, bigger picture stuff. But I was very happy with the first season, and I think it really went well. The other thing that we'll be doing in this fall, we've done this, I don't know how many years in a row, Rameen probably knows, is Scholastic Bowl 2023. 6. All right, 6.
6, there you go. So obviously there wasn't one during the COVID year. The first year of COVID. When we say COVID, it happened over the course of a few years. But this will be number 6 for us. And we know the date because we know when the Coles County Clash football game is. So the Scholastic Bowl, they usually do it at the Doudna at the Thursday, the day before the football game. So that is scheduled for September 28th. We'll take our production stuff. Dennis Riley, our awesome engineer, will help us tape that with our cool technology and our cameras. We'll bring the footage back, and on that Friday, the 29th, we'll dolly it up with graphics. And our programmer, Mac White, it's like, let's not let it rest. We're going to get it on the air, so we'll have it on the air that Saturday, the 30th of September. So it's a very unique program in the sense that we don't have anything like this where we tape it and get it on the air that fast.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Turnaround is pretty wild, but hey, it's a great program. You get a lot of great kids from the 2 communities of Charleston and Mattoon, and the Clash, rivalry, Charleston, Mattoon. It has a different, it's added some extra pride to the communities, and so you get the football game, you get the basketball games, the baseball games, whatever. But Scholastic Bowl, it's a lot of fun, and you learn a few things.
And so those are all of our local, but the one program that's been here forever, and you both are graduates of it, is WEIU TV Newswatch with Kelly Goodwin, the news director, and it will return in this fall semester, and every night, Monday through Friday, 5:30 live. So. Lacey, I know you know a lot about what Kelly does, but you had some news experience in the real world before you joined us here at WEIU. So how important is Newswatch and what it really is for this community?
I really think it's a pivotal program. Some people who don't understand what they do might think, oh, it's a college station and they're just covering stories of things that are happening at the college. And not that that's not important and not that those don't get covered, but that's not the focus. We cover a 22 county viewing area, and so Kelly and her amazing students that she trains up, and with the help of Joe Ostrowski too, they go around and cover what's important. If there's a major car accident blocking an intersection, they're sending somebody, a house fire. I mean, during COVID, we were still making sure that updates were going out to Facebook. They were doing 5-minute news briefs. And so being able to train up our students into a level that they are ready to go on day one when they start in their professional careers is huge. I'm a product of that. I felt very blessed that I was able to have a job offer lined up before I graduated, which is the norm for lots of our students. And then to be able to go in, and there were other students who had just joined around my time at a station. Not that they lacked the skills by any means, but they had a lot of polishing and things they needed to brush up on first, whereas I was ready to go the first day. And so I totally credit that to Kelly and the education that she provides them, a very real world experience. And, you know, like you said, live 5:30 every night, Monday through Friday during the school year. And that just builds some grit. I mean, it trains you so well.
Rameen, would you like to add anything?
I go back to when Kelly came back to WEIU. I was part of her first newscast group when she took over the program there. She came back end of 2001, and so she's been doing it over 20 years here, and so we're products of that. Lacey's experience prior to coming back to WEIU in front of the camera, mine behind the camera. Didn't have the talent to be a sportscaster,
Oh, stop.
so the news world came a calling, needed some videographers, but Kelly had the forthright my senior year to say maybe you should try a little experience doing some news videography, because and she was right, because that's where I got a job as a news videographer, and my experiences before coming back to WEIU were behind the camera taping news and sports, and so but you know we're very grateful to be able to work with her now, call her a colleague, and she's helping us out a lot this summer, and but she certainly helped lay the groundwork for us as college kids and Newswatch.
Well, that's kind of the overview. We still have a few minutes left here, but the overview of all the things that we do for television, other than Issues and Natchez a little bit. I'm just going to do a real brief plug on this show just for the fact that we'll be off next week for the 4th of July break. But when we return, the first show that's new for fiscal year 24 will feature our new president as of 7/1, Dr. Jay Gatrell. So he will be here, and we'll talk to Jay, and he'll teach us a little bit about what his grand plan of being the president of Eastern Illinois University. So I'm excited to kick the show off with him, and so look forward to that on, I believe it's the July 10th. Thank you. Yep. I am terrible at some of that stuff. All right, so now I'm just going to pose a question for you, and I'm not advocating, nor do I have something I'm going to tell you. But if you were going to do another show at WEIU, or what kind of, I know you guys are always thinking, you know, the minds are. So was there anything you'd like to do? Maybe just a special, a one-off or something. Is there anything that's out there that you'd love to try to do?
Well, we've always joked it never quite got to the we're doing this, but you know we had floated around some ideas with food, and I tried to get our programmer Mac, because Mac is if he weren't being an awesome TV programmer, Mac is very knowledgeable in the
he's a foodie,
food and beverage department, and he actually has some culinary experience back in the day. But I don't know, maybe a local chefs, local cuisine show is a possibility down the road. I don't know.
I can't believe you didn't say sports. I'm actually shocked right now.
Well, we've done plenty of those. Don't get me started. So I'm just trying to keep it simple.
If I could, something we've talked about, Wanda K. Robinson and I, when we were working on Ashmore, Oakland, Kansas, this is our story, a little bit of a pivot from the Our Story series would be to focus on houses of worship and to let them tell their stories, maybe how they were founded, or, people who were pivotal to the congregation. Really just another opportunity to capture these stories before people maybe pass and they're lost forever.
There you go. Now we'll send this out to if somebody's interested in any of the shows and wants to maybe be a guest or has ideas for new shows. The best way is just WEIU at WEIU.net, the email, and then that will get to Rameen or Lacey, and you can actually just put Rameen or Lacey's name in the the info line if you need to. I'm sure you just in case there's something out there that we're missing or local show for Take a Hike or
ideas,
spotlight,
communities. Things that you think would fit in any of these shows that we've talked about. Hey, we're open to new ideas.
Yep, and we'll also be looking for this is our story location for the spring of 2024. It's hard to believe that we're already thinking about some of those things. So as we move forward, and it all goes down to the other thing in the shameless plug department is we want you to become a member of WEIU, and we hope this show today will say, you know what, those folks really do a lot when you think about just really a 3-person production crew, counting Kelly, but you two do a lot of the bulk of the load. When you think about that and what other local TV stations don't do, I think that would be the reason you could say, hey, I'll give WEIU $60 a year, $100 a year, or even more. Yes.
Well, and I have to add in, each summer that I've been here, we've had amazing interns of WEIU students, whether they're connected with HitMix throughout the year or Newswatch. Some of them stay local during the summer, and so it's just really been such a huge help and honor and a blessing to get to work with them. And then you talk about membership, and that is so important. And I have to give a shout out to our membership manager, Wanda K. Robinson, again, because she just loves on our people. So if you ever want any more information about what we do here or how to get connected to Passport, any of that, you can always call her at the station. It's 581-WEIU, and she's there.
And what's cool about this summer, exactly what you said about is a lot of our interns are really local. Peyton's in the other room right now. He's from KZ. I'm going to brain lock on the girl from Charleston who's been going out.
Olivia.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, Olivia.
Olivia
she was just on the air here about an hour ago. So we've been really lucky that we've had local students that, not that there's anything wrong with the kids that are farther away, but there's something about being from this area, which we all are.
Hometown pride.
Hometown, that we love it when there's local students like that and local, we call them kids, but local students from EIU that do this. So a minute and a half left since we've covered all of our local programming. We'll now go to the world famous 8 questions, which Rameen was nervous about. Lacey was even more nervous about. So we'll go Lacey then Rameen. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate fudge brownie.
Boring old vanilla.
Favorite patriotic song?
I like a Born in the USA.
Okay.
Any John Philip Sousa march.
There you go. Your favorite all-time president, since we're coming up on the 4th of July, patriotic time.
Oh, I'll pass. We're not talking politics.
I don't know. I just love the history of presidents, so I'll leave it with that answer.
Your favorite movie, if it's 4th of July rated, that's better, or related, that's better.
I don't have any. Independence Day.
The name for me.
I watched the Born on the 4th of July recently.
Are you related to anyone famous?
I wish.
I had a cousin that went to the NYU School of Music. Something like that.
That's close. Your non-WEIU favorite TV show?
Oh, see, this is why I wanted prep.
Show you can't miss each week. Isn't there something out there?
Golly, Yellowstone.
House.
Hot dog topping.
I'm after relish and ketchup.
Good old ketchup.
Last movie you saw?
A Quiet Place 2.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
You survive. Thank you both so much for all that you do here at WEIU.